Last week I won my national championship with Branded Espia, and to be honest, I wasn't really happy with the build. There's a lot of things that I would have changed, so I sat down, broke some things apart, and built a new deck list that I think is actually the better version of my championship winning build. If you want 5% off any single or sealed product, head over to tier0games.com and use code galzo5 at checkout. How's it going, YouTube? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we have my fixed build from my Nationals winning build, and I think that this build is a lot more fun, a lot more consistent, a little bit more relevant, and to our viewer Joshua Schmidt, it does not play Gimmick Puppet Nightmare. Why? Because it's playing this guy, and I think it's a little bit more fun, a little bit more specific, and you know, we might as well be ready, and I think the deck doesn't necessarily need the Gimmick Puppet lock. Before we begin, leave a thumbs up on the video. We're on the way to 10k, so don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment down below, and let's just kick this off. I think that I wanted to sit down, cut all the fat out of my build. I think my build was a little bit, playing it safe and a bit insecure. Things like Super Poly, couldn't really decide on what to give up. This I think is like much, clearer as a deck. Has a lot of really good purposes, and I would be happy to take this to Nationals any day. So hopefully you guys have Nationals too. You can use my advice on this one. We're playing the 3 Aluber. We're playing 3 Fallen Valbaz. I think you should definitely, again, as I was saying a lot, and this is, quoting my mentor, Chris Lofton, get in the habit of fusing with Fallen Valbaz from the graveyard. Use Quem and use Rindbrum to fuse. Get, an interruption using Albaz, take away a monster, gain a Mirror Jade that takes away another monster. Get in the habit of doing that. You don't want this banished. Here, again, I'm hiding my secret rare copy because I don't have 2 Starlights, but I am playing the 2 Artesia here. I think this is fine. You could definitely cut it to 1 if you're on budget builds. But I think 2 is great because you can open it, use it as an extender, use it to protect your monsters a little bit better. And then 1 Quem. Quem is really, really good in this deck, and I think that I don't see a world where it's at more than 1, to be honest, in Branded Espia specifically. And then we have 1 Mercurier, 1 Albion, 1 Tragedy, and then a card that I didn't play in Nationals, which of course is this beautiful looking Dark Magician. I think you should definitely play Dragoon. This is one of the things that I wanted to change from my Nationals list and actually play Dragoon because I felt like, and I was lucky not to see a lot of Kashtira, but I felt like Dark Magician gives you the best tools against Kashtira. Still, maybe there's a ban list, maybe things get hit and things are a bit different once I finish recording this video or until you see this video, but I think this is correct. I did not play this and I regretted it. I think it was the right decision to play Dark Magician and Dragoon in this build. Then we're going to play 1 Lubellion, 1 Serenir. I don't think there's any world where you need more than that. We got 3 Fusion. We got 3 Opening. We have 3 Deployment. And then we have 3 Crossout Designator. Let me finish. We also have 2 Talents and 1 Pot of Prosperity. So this is a very interesting package here. Do you need to play Nadir Servant, or should you play Nadir Servant over Crossout Designator? Sure. Go for it, make your extra deck ready for that, play things like Titanic Lad that you can actually get a lot of value of. You do you. I think that even with not a lot of crossout targets, if you resolve Branded Fusion in this deck, you win. Okay? This is a given. You most of the times will win by resolving Branded Fusion. I think this is still better than Nadir, and again, I will say this at every video. Think about a hand where you have Branded Fusion and 1 more card in your hand. Would you rather this card be Nadir Servant or Crossout? It's usually Crossout because it guarantees that this will resolve, and Nadir Servant just adds recovery, Talents, I really like this when I was testing. This is a very hand trap heavy format, so you will get drolled a lot, right? You can also bait the droll really easily with these guys. And, Aluber, Gamma, Veilers, Ogres, stuff like that. You capitalize off of that, you go for the tactics, you see the hand, you rip the ash, you resolve it. This is a very, very good card, this format. And then the 1 Prosperity is actually just a nice tech option where you can dig for your crossout. just dig a little bit further for your crossout. I think it's really, really good. I've been really liking this, and you know, it's a bit spicy, so use it carefully. Don't get stinged. 1 lost, 1 foolish burial, 1 in red, 1 called by the grave, 1 retribution, 3 droll, and 2 ash. A few days ago, I was playing against Super Heavy Samurai. This deck can break a Super Heavy Samurai board engine only. Baron Appaloosa Spell Cancel, you can break that with only engine. This is why I don't feel like you need a lot of non-engine in the main. You got a lot on the side, but not in the main. And then Gold Sark, I don't play because I don't think it's good when you're playing 1 Mercurier. If you open both of them, it's really, really devastating. So I would not play it. The deck is 40 cards main. It's pretty consistent, and I don't think you need to play Gold Sark at this point. Unless you want to up the card count a little bit, play 2 Mercurier. This is my advice to you. Play 2 Mercurier and Gold Sark. That's really, really good. Then you can banish it. You can go for other plays. If you open a Bestial, you can send it, go for Rindbrum, banish it from the graveyard, search a Cartesia. Very, very good. I think it has its own merits. But if you're playing 1 and you want to stay like a lean 40, then I just don't think you should. 2 Albion, 2 Mirror Jade. Then we have a lot of 1-ofs. Granguignol, Dragoon, Masquerade. Best freaking card in the deck, baby. We got a Chimera, Dragostapelia, Rindbrum, Lubellion, Sprint. Very, very good utility. Again, as I was saying in the beginning of the video, get in the habit of fusing away monsters your opponent controls with Albaz during their turn. Playing this allows you to make any monster an Albaz target because this requires Albaz plus an effect monster special summon this turn. So fire sprite monsters, we take those. Earth monsters, we take those. Koshtiar monsters, we take those. Right? We just take those with Sprint. Gets us a pop and a search. Next turn, Queritus, Lulu. I think this card is like... This might be cuttable in the future. I don't know. I don't really like this card personally. Right now, it's like nice value. If you have everything, you can send this with Granguignol. Get a Cartesia, you don't need to play Titaniclad. And Queritus, I would highly, highly advise you guys to play this. This card wins a lot of games on its own. I would not be caught not playing it. And by the way, look at these awesome looking new championship sleeves. And speaking of sleeves, check out sleevesteep.de and get yourself some nice border sleeves, oversleeve deck boxes. Link in the video. Galzo 5 for 5% off. Jaugen. Who is this? Jaugen the Spiritualist. It's a light spellcaster that says that as long as it's on the field, neither player can special summon monsters. 1300 defense. So, how do you do it? What do you do with it? You go for Random Fusion. You send Jaugen and Albaz from your deck. These summon Sanctifier because it requires Albaz and a light spellcaster. During your opponent's turn, especially strong versus purely and very strong against Super Heavy. Also, really, really good against Koshtiar as well because they cannot special summon monsters. They have to normal summon, and they have to have specifically Birth or Unicorn and a way to special... They can't special summon, so they can't tribute over this, right? So you summon Jaugen to their field. Sorry, Jaugen to your field. Albaz to their field, or whatever it is, just summon it in defense. 1300 defense means that, you know, you let Super Heavy start playing, right? And they will have to commit either a normal summon or a special summon of a Wakashi. Wakashi and Soul Piercer don't get through this. They have 1000 tag and 1200, right? So as long as you prevent them from getting Wagon, they don't out this, and Pearly is an auto win against this. So this is just Branded Fusion. Send these. You can do whatever you want with the rest of your cards. This does this. Of course, it's disgusting, right? But it's a bit funnier than Gimmick Puppet Nightmare, I think. So I'm playing 1 Jaugen. This is the best going first card against any deck in this format. And you don't even need to play Gimmick Puppet Nightmare Lock, right? Of course, if you want to win championships, maybe advised to go ahead and play Puppet as long as it's legal. This kills every deck. It kills Pearly, Kashtira, Super Heavy, Mathmic. All decks that are not branded, that are top tier in this format, die to this card. You don't need Gimmick Puppet. 2 Magnamud and 1 Druze, 3 Cosmic, 3 Nibiru, 2 Christmas Fiend. And this is the deck. Super clean, super lean. I think this is super fun as well. Not as toxic, you know? Every deck is playing some sort of garbage, you know, Spell Counselor, Towers, Shifter. You can play that too. You don't have to play Gimmick Puppet Nightmare. It's also expensive. So I think this is a pretty good take on the deck. Hope you can adjust it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe. We're on the way to 10K. And yeah, Jaugen for the win.